Yo folks, and welcome to the channel. My name is Bork. In today's video, we'll be doing a should you polls for Halloween Shinobu. Now normally I would go into my JP account and show you Halloween Shinobu, but today we can't do that, and that's going to be because she is a limited character. I did not play JP during the Halloween time frames, or I didn't pull for her, so yeah, she's gonna be very limited in that sense, not an easy character to get. And I just want to appreciate her art really quick because you can see there's a lot of design details where, you know, the Skull Dad, this dude right here, he has like flames shooting out of his eyes and his mouth. He has like a little crown going on, and not to mention Shinobu herself, Halloween Shinobu, has a little crown as well with a pumpkin full of goodies, as you can see. Now let's go ahead and talk about this character really quick. Just note that her UB deals a large amounts of damage to the lowest current HP unit. Not to mention she's going to be providing some physical attack buffs, and then she's also going to be providing an AoE attack. Not really good against boss battles and kind of weak against magical attacks, but what's really cool about her is she's going to be getting a lot of TP boosts. So if you actually jump right here into the JP banners or the JP wiki, you can see that Halloween Shinobu is next to Saren, and since she's next to Saren, that essentially means she's going to be getting a massive amount of TP boost, which also in tangent means that she's going to be getting her UBs fairly quickly. So if you actually look at her skill rotation, she's going to cast her 1 and then her 2. So she's going to be casting a physical attack buff to herself, and then her 2 is going to deal some AoE damage, and then finally she's going to be doing that single target nuke plus some AoE flash damage that's going across the board. So she's going to obliterate a lot of comps with Ilya, and just note you shouldn't pair Halloween Shinobu and Ilya together, mostly because it's gonna sort of mess up who's going to get the TP boost because they sit fairly close to each other, and then I don't have to talk about like Anna being, you know, very close to Saren. So please do not have Anna on the team. Ideally, that way you can have physical synergy. And she's gonna be one of the first characters who's going to be countering Ilya. Now, one weakness to Halloween Shinobu is she is going to be susceptible to taunts. UB is sucked by provocation or pretty much taunting, so Kuka is going to counter her whenever she's present on the field. So don't expect Halloween Shinobu to target the Ilya even if she has like the lowest HP. It's just something to take into account for in case you were like, oh, I have like the PvP god that counters Ilya, so that means I can like beat any teams. No, most of the teams have Kuka in it because most of the teams know that you're going to run Atomiki, but now I guess you can run Atomiki, a Halloween Shinobu, plus like a Saren. There's gonna be like so many different variations of these team comps, but just know Halloween Shinobu is definitely going to make her presence known against Ilya teams because Ilya teams will not hold as much relevance. They won't be able to sweep arena as they once did. Not to mention, if you put Halloween Shinobu as a defense on your PvP teams, she's gonna do absolutely amazing. Now, in case you guys are wondering, we actually have extra information as well. You can see row 48 Halloween Shinobu. I want to take a look at the top 2 tabs, which is going to be CB and PvP importance, not to mention gear and stats. So let's go ahead and go back down. So Halloween Shinobu is going to be a meta-defining PvP unit as we have been describing, and not to mention her ideal ranks is 11-3 and 3+ stars. 11-3 because she wants a little bit more accuracy, and then you want her to have more stars so she can actually have higher attack power. She's going to be an actual cleaver and team nuker, so she's gonna be pretty good of herself. Not that used in CB, but when it comes down to this, is she a must pull? No, she's not, but if you are a PvP maniac, you have to be one of the #1 people in arena, then you know you might want to look into pulling for her because she's one of the few PvP units that's going to pop up in rotation, and I advise folks to essentially look out for her. Not to mention she's going to be a limited unit, so you're not going to be able to acquire her. I can't even showcase her skills, but just note the Halloween characters, the seasonal characters in general, have great designs, great animations. We'll actually look at H.Miyako in a bit, but those are the things that I wanted to cover with her. She can be taunted by Kuka, but she is going to be able to kill a bunch of Ilyas, and she's gonna destroy a lot of teams. And just know, if you have Sumigi, in case you're wondering, because Sumigi is pretty relevant in PvP, I'm pretty sure Sumigi can help a little bit because Sumigi has that like pull, not to mention draw. But it's gonna be interesting to see the comps for Halloween Shinobu because she's going to thrive with that Saren that we talked about earlier. She's gonna be getting a lot of TP boost. All right, so let's look at some actual character animations with Halloween Miyako right here. Paired her with Pecorine, that way you can sort of see the difference in attacks and you know what's going on. So you can see right out the gate, Halloween Miyako has like these little ghosties as you saw earlier, and she can sort of pop into the back of the field. So she's sort of similar to Halloween Shinobu in the sense that she will target specific characters, all right? So the thing is with Halloween Miyako, she's going to target the farthest back enemy. She's actually really cool for this purpose, so she can act as an assassin-like character, similar to Halloween Shinobu, except Halloween Shinobu Shinobu aims for the, lowest HP unit. So technically, if you were to pair like Halloween Shinobu and Halloween Miyako together, you can have a really sick like assassin team. And look at her UB right here. It looks absolutely phenomenal for a 1-star free character. Did I mention that everyone's going to be able to get this character for free? You don't have to pull for her. All you have to do is farm enough shards for her, because she's going to want 4-star in order for her to be lined up for success. Unlike Halloween Shinobu, who only needs 3-star, because Halloween Shinobu has enough tankiness and mostly going to be used for PvP. Surprisingly enough, there is going to be a use Halloween Miyako in CB. I'm assuming it has to do with the fact that she can lower some stats, and not to mention she can also provide TP steal. So any character that provides like some sort of TP mitigation is definitely one of the most important, and the few characters that can do this I think is like Tamaki. I think the other one is like Arisa. So it's a very coveted skill to essentially have like those TP steals, but not to mention she's also going to have vastly different stats. So one thing to note is that Pecorine is usually behind Miyako, so Halloween Miyako is going to have much different positioning. And one of my favorite parts about Halloween Miyako is her victory pose right here. You can see the little ghosties trying to eat the pudding, but let's go ahead and jump back into this. All right, so this is going to be Halloween Miyako. Her design is pretty straightforward, Halloween themed, and I think she looks pretty nice overall. But just know, if you jump into the JP notes right here, she is going to be sitting at the very farthest back position. That means that she is not going to be tanking a bunch of stuff for you. If you also look at her stats, her physical attack power is actually pretty high, and her physical defense and magical defense on the low end. So she is going to be an assassin-alike character, sort of like Halloween Shinobu. And you can see Halloween Shinobu has crazy high physical attack. I would say pretty high physical attack in general, but you can see she is definitely going to be a glass cannon. She might even be a little bit squishier than Ilya, and this is why she's probably going to want more stars. But just note that in order to upgrade, Halloween Shinobu's stars, you're actually gonna have to use shards, because she's a limited unit. I would suggest waiting until pre-fest before, using any shards. That way you can get Christina appropriately up. Don't use shards on Miyako, just farm her shards during like the actual Halloween event. But another thing to sort of look at is she's going to be very susceptible to taunt, sucked by provocation, and you can see that she has a higher shot range than other middle guards. So she's going to be targeted as well, because she's in that middle slot. Middle slots are known to get targeted by some enemies, and she's going to have like pretty decent attack power. But when it comes to this, you can see her skill 1 is going to be like that TP steal. Not to mention she's also going to be providing a stun, which is absolutely phenomenal for her. And then her skill 2, she's going to be reducing physical and magical attack power for the farthest enemy, be dealing a little bit of damage as well. And then her UB is finally going to be dealing some curse and also dealing a large amount of damage to the farthest enemy. Personally speaking, if I were to pick between the two, like who's a better character, like Halloween Miyako has a little bit more utility, mostly because of that like TP, like sort of steal. But the thing is, with Halloween Shinobu, she's definitely going to be the stronger variant for PvP. I guess you could say Halloween Miyako's a little bit more balanced. She's going to be thriving at 9.6 and 4-star right here. And then she's also going to be used against the Reindeer CB, and you want to leave her at rank 9, mostly because you're going to want to have like more TP generation for her. And she also acts as an assassin unit, and you can see her Reindeer CB, highly advised for everyone to farm her heavily for the Halloween event. So she's going to be really cool since we're going to be getting a free copy. It's nice that these seasonal characters like Summer Kokoro are very relevant to us, so it's just exciting to sort of see these characters go into the spotlight. So those are like my sort of views on Halloween Shinobu and Halloween Miyako. Let's go over like some of my rough thoughts during arena, because I do have a couple more things to say when it comes to these characters. Personally speaking, I'm still not pulling for Halloween Shinobu, even though I know she's still stronger in PvP than Halloween Miyako, mostly because Halloween Miyako, I need to raise her. I'm sort of low on mana lately. Christina is going to be popping up in the future. I cannot afford the shards to essentially pull for Halloween Shinobu and get her to like 4-star or something, right? Because these are going to be limited units. You're gonna have to dump divine amulets, and right now I just don't have enough divine amulets to actually raise these characters properly. Honestly speaking, I'm really excited for like the Halloween events. We'll actually do a live stream of, when Halloween sort of pops up, either during the weekday or the weekend, and we'll do like sort of like a day 1 sort of grind, so folks can sort of see what should you do as a day 1 player if you jump into Princess Connect like sort of ever, or you jump into Princess Connect at optimal times. That's what I want to show, because I feel like Halloween time is going to be the best way to onboard newer players. So I'll be streaming that so you guys can sort of see what's in my mind, what are the things that I'm looking for in order to get like the best start part possible, because I saw on one of the polls I did, people were like, hey, can you show like a new player's guide? And probably the best way is to do sort of a stream. But I'll also like be opening like the floor to my videos for you guys to just sort of request stuff in. So what do I mean by that? I'm actually going to open up this form right here, going to be in the description, where you can essentially be like, hey, you know, I want a certain type of video. You might want me to cover other games or something. You might have a request. So you can fill out that form. It'll go to me, and then we could sort of figure out a video, because I know sometimes people want me to cover other things, or you guys want me to make more Princess Connect content. By the way, if you guys ever want me to do like a waifu thing, like a waifu tier list, everyone's just going to be S tier, but I'll describe each character as to why they're S tier, because you know I'm pretty biased when it comes to like waifus and Princess Connect. Everyone's meta to me because I feel like everyone holds a special place in my heart. But yeah, that's going to be the should you polls for Halloween Shinobu. Personally speaking, is she a must poll? Like I said, not really, unless you're like heavily deep into PvP and you just have to be like one of the best PvP people. You want to sit at like #1 and you're protecting that spot like no one else can even touch it because you're the king of PvP, then Halloween Shinobu is definitely a girl. Like, she has like that crown to prove that she's going to be the sort of queen of PvP, I guess, for this situation. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Not a must poll, but definitely a character to look out for, and just be prepared to farm the heck out of Halloween Miyako right here. Anyways, if you made it this far in today's video, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. Good luck to anyone who's going to be summoning for Halloween Shinobu. I won't. Look out for that stream so we can all hang out and just talk about Princess Connect, and we'll also do, I guess, a new player's guide. Once we hit 27,500 subs, we're doing a giveaway. Thanks so much for watching. Have yourself a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one.